Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another watch list. Basically, think of this as a monthly TV guide for me to let you know what and when TV shows that I'm interested in and maybe you're interested in are coming out. Like always, in the description down below, I'll include links to any trailers that might be available to anything that I bring up during this watch list. On April 1st on Prime Video, we have a new series called The Outlaws. Just from what we got, I think there's only a teaser out. Maybe it is a full-blown trailer. I can't remember now. But it seems like the premise is there's a whole bunch of people, kind of a group of unlikely people come together because they're all like doing like community service stuff, and it leads to like some shenanigans of them finding, I think, some money and finding themselves in some like crazy wild situation. So just from what we saw from the trailer, it seems like it could be like I think a kind of comedy crime drama. It seemed really interesting, seemed really fun. On April 6th on Hulu, we have season 2 of the Hardy Boys, which I'm very excited about because I had checked on the Hardy Boys for a while, so I wasn't even aware that was coming out with its new season and this soon. So that's pretty interesting. Obviously last season's mysteries ended up pretty resolved. I don't think there's anything trailing over. I think it's just gonna be like, right, it's a new overarching mystery for them to end up solving. I've only saw like the teaser. There is an official trailer out, but considering the new season is so close, I decided like I'm not gonna watch the full trailer. But I'm excited. I'm gonna have to rewatch season 1 to refresh my memory on a lot of like all the stuff that goes down. April 7th on HBO. I can't remember if it's HBO or HBO Max. I mean, granted, it all ends up on HBO Max eventually, but there's this new series called Tokyo Vice, which I'm really interested in checking out. It seems interesting. Basically, it seems like there's a journalist in Tokyo. He's an American journalist in Tokyo who's basically researching and spending time with like the Yakuza and kind of getting to see like the more seedy underbelly that is like Japan's criminal world. So I thought that seemed interesting. Certain aspects of the show, casting wise, I'm like, I've heard certain things, so I don't know how people are going to feel about that. I haven't done enough research to really know, so it's an Ansel Elgort situation, so I don't know. There's kind of that aspect to it, so I don't know if that'd be enough. Like I figured I might as well just throw that out there because I know that's kind of people kind of pulled away. I think there's like allegations against him in certain regards. I don't know, but I'm just throwing it out there because I was like, oh, but like other than him, it seems like an interesting show, so it's something I'm interested to check out, but I don't know if that's going to like pull me away, or then maybe that'll pull other people away from watching it. I think it is a limited series, so it's just kind of like whatever we end up getting is what we get. I think I could be mistaken. On April 15th on Prime Video, there's a new series coming out called Outer Range. I have no idea what this show is. At first, I almost got Yellowstone vibes from it, which is interesting considering I haven't watched Yellowstone. But from what I was looking up, it's like there's a mystery, like almost science fictional angle to it. I'm like, the trailer, I saw it because it's only a teaser trailer. Maybe there's already a full-blown trailer out, or maybe it will be like by the time this comes out. But I'm like, I didn't see anything science fictional in the teaser trailer, but I don't know. That alone got me interested in knowing like, wait, it's a mystery, maybe there's a science fictional angle to it. Okay, I'm not quite sure what to get from it, but like I said, it feels like just like, oh, these people own a ranch and there's kind of a lot of stuff surrounding it. Like I said, it gives like Yellowstone vibes. Once again, even though I haven't really seen Yellowstone, but I got a general enough premise of what Yellowstone is that it seems similar. But I'm curious to check it out. Like I said, I'll probably be better off watching a full-blown trailer to get full context from it, but just that alone is enough to make me go, I'll wait to see and watch the show to figure out whether it's kind of my thing or not. So I figured I'd add it to my watch list. On April 17th, we have Fear the Walking Dead returning. Now, April 17th, I don't know if that's the AMC Plus date or is that the AMC date. I think that's the AMC date and not the AMC Plus date. Regardless, I'm excited to have Fear back. It's going to be interesting because obviously this is going to be picking up, well, by then, the week beforehand will be like the mid-season finale, well, second mid-season finale for the final season of The Walking Dead. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, where we picked up, obviously things against Strand are heating up. Some certain character returned, and without going into spoilers, I know there is a character that is also set to return. I don't know where this character's return is going to be in the grand scheme of things, but especially with like a recent return of a character, I'm like, I hope these characters get to meet upon said other characters return. I'm talking in circles because I don't want to spoil things for anyone that's not caught up, but I'm very excited to see where catching up with everyone, you know, with their respective circumstances. On April 24th on HBO, we have a season 3 of Barry. Now, I won't go into this too much because Barry isn't a show I've watched. I've heard nothing but good things about it. That is funny. Obviously, it has like a darker element to it because I think the whole premise is like Barry's a hitman who wants to become an actor. So just the premise alone is great. And so, like I said, I've not seen any of the show, but I figured season 3 is around the corner, might be the best time to watch the show. Whether I'll review season 1 and 2 while I'm watching it, and that ultimately comes down to me, just I guess depending on how lazy I get, or whether I like, if I'm really into it and just want to talk about it, then I probably will review. Otherwise, I'll probably just like binge the 2 seasons, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited to watch Barry. Like I said, I've heard nothing but good things about it. So also on April 24th on Epix, we have Billy the Kid, which is really interesting. I'm somewhat a Western person. I'm not the biggest Western person, but Westerns kind of get my attention from time to time. Probably my favorite Western is just me, 3:10 to Yuma. Like, I've seen that movie once, but I remember really liking it. But I can get behind it, especially when you think, like, you know, like, Billy the Kid is a character I know next to nothing about, and he's one of those infamous, like bandits and cowboy, like, he's not a cowboy, but he's like a bandit that you, like, he's a criminal that you know, like, he's one of those legendary criminals you always hear his name thrown out there, you know. And so I'm really interested, especially what they show within the trailer, because we're getting Billy from, like, how he went, like, it is an origin story of how he went from being who he was to becoming this charismatic kind of I don't know if he's necessarily Robin Hood, but becoming the well-known, the named person that he became. So from what I saw in the trailer, it seemed really interesting and really deep dive into this character, understand that there's a lot more complexities going on with what Billy does and why he does what he does. So I'm excited to check that out. April 25th on HBO, we have a new series, I think if I remember correctly, a limited series called We Own This City. And obviously it's a story, I think it's what I was reading, it is based on, or at least inspired by true events. It is a crime drama about, like, police corruption, where it's like there are these police who are taking a little bit here and there, and I think a cop gets tapped to kind of like bust the whole system down, I think. I was looking through the cast list. I was like, wow, there's actually a lot more familiar faces in, but I like the, you know, I'm a crime drama person, so I really like it. I think Jamie Hector's character is the one that's kind of like the inside cop who's kind of brought in for the purposes of like he's kind of drawn into this corruption. I think he's gonna help try and bust that whole thing wide open. On April 28th on FX/Hulu, which I'm not sure if that's FX on Hulu or if it's just on FX and then it's going to be on Hulu. Either way, it's kind of all the same. Either way, it kind of doesn't really matter. But there's a new series called Under the Banner of Heaven. It's got Andrew Garfield in it. It's another crime drama. I think it's also a limited series or mini series. But it almost seems like basically it revolves around a cop like trying to solve a murder, but it seems like it's also tied into this whole cult situation, which, hey, I'm not like the biggest cult person, but when it comes into like a mystery and trying to resolve something, I do like within the storytelling purposes, like a cult presents a really interesting thing, and I'm just excited to see it just from the teaser I saw, because I don't think it was a full-blown trailer. The atmosphere and just the nature of just like what we saw in the teaser seemed interesting to me, so I'm excited to check it out. Just another crime drama to add to the list if you're looking for one, much like myself. So on April 29th on Prime Video, we have season 2 of Undone, which I'm very excited about. I was actually scared for a moment that I'd actually missed it, because I saw on like the Prime Video YouTube channel there was some like clip stuff from season 2. I'm like, when did season 2 drop? I've been, you know, I haven't heard anything. You know, once again, it's like, unless you're like constantly keeping up with a show, you will kind of not hear anything for a while. I guess it's like, right, they'll just get greenlit for something and immediately go into production, and it's one of those shows that probably wouldn't you get big constant updates for unless you're looking into it. But I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch season 1. But essentially it's a God, I forgot what like the premise was. Like, I know she was in an accident where her dad died, but her dad's presented inside of her head. Something. It was a wild season 1 that kind of left on a bit of a cliffhanger. The episodes were fairly short too. They're only like maybe 30 minutes a pop, and they were like 8 episodes. So I'm definitely going to rewatch season 1 to refresh my memory. But I'm really excited to see where we go with season 2. I think there is a trailer out, but I'm not going to watch it. I'm just going to wait for it to drop. So also, and finally, on April 29th is the back half of Ozark's 4th and final season. We are getting the last 8 episodes of Ozark, which when the news dropped that was like the date announcement got announced, I was like, wow, I was not expecting it, the turnaround to be that crazy. It's almost like part 2 of season 5 of Lucifer to season 6. That was crazy turnaround, but extenuating circumstances and stuff like that. But I'm very, very excited to see where we go. The first half of this season left us on some major cliffhangers and developments. Things have been topsy-turvy. Like, it's going to be curious to see what sides people end up choosing in the long run, because especially on the FBI front, where they kind of got left off, where things stand between the Bird family and Navarro and everything with his nephew and the complications that brought about. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what the final episodes look like. I mean, once again, we are going into the final episode, and I think this is going to be far from a happy ending. We have some idea what to go into because of the first half, just because there was a thing that was in it in the first half of the season that is in the process of potentially about to happen in this back half. I'm curious, like, how early on is it going to happen? Is it going to happen later? I'd assume it's pretty early on in the back half of the season, but that's neither here nor there. Well, it's kind of here nor there, but regardless, I'm excited to see how Ozark ultimately ends up wrapping up. And that brings this month's watch list to an end. Like always, if there's something that's coming out that maybe I wasn't aware of, that you're aware of, that's coming out that you think maybe me or someone else would be interested in, don't be afraid to leave it in the comments down below. But really, that's all I want to talk about. So the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.